One of the internet's most beloved animated web series has had its soul stolen, and unfortunately, it might not get it back. But perhaps everything is not as it first seems. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at a breaking development in the world of web animation, as well as the ethics of AI in art, and something that I like to call the BuzzFeed problem. But before we get into things, first a quick reminder. If you happen to enjoy yourself today, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It would very much help me out and tell the algorithm that you want to see more of this kind of content. So with that said, let's get into it. So the animated web series in question is Chicken Nugget. In case you don't know it, it's a short form series which began in October 2020, and when it comes to this particular web series, it is an absolute juggernaut, with over 1 billion combined views between TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky. The series was created by Kira Kupetsky, who worked for BuzzFeed's Animation Lab, having signed on in 2017. But make no mistake, while Kira created it, the show is BuzzFeed's property. They're free to do basically anything they want with it without regard for the stars of the show. And, well, this past week, they've done just that. Let's discuss BuzzFeed's most recent scandal from the 5th of March 2026, because that's when Chicken Nugget's creator Kira Kupetsky announced her departure from the show for an utterly shocking reason. On the 5th of March 2026, a concerning post was put up to the Chicken Nugget YouTube account. This post was then quickly deleted for reasons that we'll discuss in just a moment. The post isn't too long, so let's go through it together. It reads, "Hi, it's Kira, creator and voice actor of Chicken Nugget. I have some incredibly unfortunate news I'm very saddened to deliver. I will be leaving the show and no longer voicing Chicken. BuzzFeed is going to be requiring Chicken to be fed into AI for a project, and I am fully against this. It's entirely out of our control, and I'm utterly heartbroken. I'm very anti-AI and cannot support this. Thus, I am leaving to boycott this. I'm so upset it's come to this, and I cannot apologize enough for this happening. I can't thank you all enough for all your incredible support on Chicken Nugget, as well as the incredible talent of the cast and crew on the show. I love you all so much, and this project has been a highlight of my career. I will continue to update everyone on what's going to happen as I hear it. If I lose access to this account, please follow me over on @Kira Kupetsky on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Instagram for updates. Please do not send hate to anyone. I just wanted to inform you all what's going on." It continues. "AI is not being used in any of the episodes online, nor has it ever been. So no episodes that come out after I leave include AI. We recorded scripts/animated episodes before the situation unfolded, so do not fear, episodes are AI free, and if that ever changes, you will be told. The AI is only being used in a project that none of us can talk about because of NDA, but none of us are involved. I'm leaving before this project starts. Everyone on BuzzFeed animation team is against this. It's a situation that's out of everyone's hands. There is a chance I will be given Chicken, potentially in the future, in which case I would continue the show as intended with everyone on board. No AI, ever. In the meantime, we have to wait to see what will happen. For now, I'll be doing other projects on my main account. I will answer questions on this account and my main for as long as I have access to this account." Unfortunately, it appears as though she didn't have access for too long. When I wrote the script for this video, the post had been put up 2 hours ago, and in between the time it was posted and when I went to look for it, it had already been deleted. I also found a tweet showing that a few of her tweets had also been erased. So BuzzFeed definitely had the keys to this castle. The entire thing seemed to play out like the first scene from Star Wars: A New Hope, where Princess Leia is sending her final transmission before Vader boards her ship. Now please allow me to reiterate a point made by Kira. Please do not send any hate or harassment to anyone at BuzzFeed. If you have any negativity, please leave it to this comment section. But with that said, let's discuss just what this means and the backlash that BuzzFeed is currently receiving. So it's no secret that BuzzFeed is receiving a lot of heat right now. Looking on Reddit, we have such comments as "exceptionally common BuzzFeed L." Bales writes, "This is so evil, holy shit, poor Kira." And others are complaining at the uses and ethics of AI. Sunny Von Shark writes, AI was meant to make our lives better so we humans can focus on creative pursuits. Not this. AI is taking away our creative ways to make our lives worse. And if you want my take on this, I agree with Sunny. Look, whether or not we like it, AI is probably here to stay. But a very frustrating aspect of it is that art was never meant to be its function. This is a bit of a deep cut, but does anyone watching this remember The Jetsons? Okay, I used to have the movie on VHS, and if you can remember, there was a robot maid, right? At no point in that show did she pick up an easel and start going to town Bob Ross style. However, when it comes to companies, they're always going to care more about their bottom line than creative purity. And BuzzFeed might just be in a position right now where they have to cut costs by any means necessary because of something I call the BuzzFeed problem. Here's a question for you. When was the last time you sat down and watched a BuzzFeed video? For many of us, it's been a hot minute. With a channel of the size and prestige of BuzzFeed, the fact that their latest videos have had view counts that don't even crack the 10,000 mark is crazy. And this brings me no satisfaction to report whatsoever, but over the last several years, many of its staff members have been laid off. Now, if you want my 2 cents, there are 3 main reasons for the company's decline. Those being, A. Rising competition. Over the last several years, there have been many companies that have done what BuzzFeed do, but better. BuzzFeed aren't the biggest kids on the block anymore. B. Reputation. Need I say more? The brand uploaded a lot of content that was deemed as low-quality slop. They turned a lot of potential audience members away by doing this. And C. The most important and relevant to today's story, ownership. If you remember back to the mid to late 2010s, there were a lot of videos about why I left BuzzFeed. And one of the main reasons why many of its biggest creators left was that they didn't own what they made. The Try Guys, for example, didn't own the Try Guys. Ryan Bergara and Shane Madej didn't own BuzzFeed Unsolved. It's literally in the name. What BuzzFeed does, or at the very least what it used to do, was give creatives resources to make clickable, watchable, and shareable content. But down the road, this becomes a paradox. If a show didn't get the viewership it needed, it got scrapped. But if it did, if it became a staple, well, there was also a problem with that too, because the larger a show grows, the larger the face of it will be, but they wouldn't own the show that they make. And this can very quickly become a source of friction because at the end of the day, what BuzzFeed says goes. Very few big names stay at BuzzFeed. It's more like a stepping stone, a place where you go to get your start, and if you make a show that's big enough, eventually you'll go on to bigger and better things. So BuzzFeed would have to go back and start making new shows and promoting new faces. And that can work, provided your new faces perform like the old ones. And I don't know about you, but I couldn't name a single name from BuzzFeed that's blown up since COVID. This is all to say that BuzzFeed right now isn't doing too well, and it appears as though they're resorting to AI in order to produce new content. Now remember, as Kira says, this show isn't being AI generated, but they are feeding it into an AI program. To be honest, anything I say about this will merely be speculation. As Kira says, she couldn't discuss it because of NDAs. My best guess for what this could mean is maybe they're feeding it to AI so that it can study it and produce other similar AI-generated shows in the future. Lest we forget that Logan Paul recently made an AI-generated slop movie, so a company with the potential resources of BuzzFeed could pull something like that off. Again though, that is total speculation. The tragic thing is that Kira's departure, if she does actually go, is probably the end of yet another revenue source for BuzzFeed. Perhaps they just don't learn. I understand that at the end of the day, you cannot be held hostage to the people you employ. But it's not like Kira was asking for all too much, just for them to not use AI. Kira is the heart and soul of this show. Look at the credits. She created the show, she wrote the show, she directed the show, and she voiced characters in the show. I think that without Kira, this show would crumble, regardless of the amount of people that are boycotting it. Speaking of which, the public have pledged their support for Kira. Messages of love and support have been flooding in, so no matter what she does next, even if she's not able to take control of Chicken Nugget, I'm sure she'll be just fine. That said, it is a crying shame that due to the BuzzFeed business model, she's been separated from her own creation, like a parent from their child. She later tweeted out saying that she's in dialogue with BuzzFeed, so perhaps something can be worked out. This is a developing situation, so we'll have to wait and see what comes of it. That said, it is crystal clear by now that Kira and AI are mutually exclusive. You can have one, but you can't have both. So what do you think of this situation? Speak your mind down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this, then why not check out my video on a YouTube animator that recently got exposed for promoting a scam to his audience. If you love this, I have a sneaky feeling that you'll love that one too. So click on the screen right now to check it out, you absolute legends. Aside from that, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.